Waverly. You're probably new here, so welcome to my humble abode. This is the second official episode of Tea Time with Waverly. Basically, that means that anytime I'm just sitting here talking to the camera, I'm gonna be drinking tea. And I encourage you to be drinking tea, unless you don't like tea, in which case, get off my channel. Just kidding, I want all of the beverage lovers. And I will tell you what tea I'm drinking, and you can comment what tea you're drinking, or your favorite tea, or you can comment about how much you hate tea. I just really like tea, so I thought I would spice up these videos with the tea that I'm drinking, which is still steeping, is an Earl Grey tea that I got from Trader Joe's. I forget the name of it. I'll probably put the name in the description, but it comes in a purple bag. And it's super flowery. This is the second best Earl Grey tea I've ever had. It tastes like flowers and happiness. It's in my mum's Tinkerbell cup. So today, if you haven't guessed by the title, or if you haven't even read the title and you just love me that much, I'm talking about the time I worked in a maid cafe. It wasn't a traditional Japanese maid cafe. I haven't been to a Japanese maid cafe, although in May I am going to Japan. And I will definitely stop by a maid cafe and tell you how similar it was, because the maid cafe that I worked at was here in the States. It was based off of a Japanese maid cafe, so it obviously wasn't the same because it was at a convention, so it was just one day and it wasn't just an ongoing cafe thing. If you don't know what a maid cafe is, the overall concept is that it's a way for you to feel rich, I guess. It's a kind of like a simulation of being rich and coming home and having like your maid be like, "Welcome home, master," or your sorry, my dog, or your butler being like, "Welcome home," or your butler saying, "Welcome home, master," you know, that sort of thing. And but you're obviously in the cafe with a whole bunch of other people, so you know it's not your home, but it's supposed to be like that. They're supposed to treat you, they'll bringing you food and drinks and being like, "For you, master, this is for you." So it's like that sort of thing. It's not a fetish type thing. It's not like a kink thing. I mean, I'm sure there are cafes like that, but this isn't really what that's intended for. And I'm sure people go there with that in mind, but that's not really what it's intended for, to the best of my knowledge. At least ours wasn't. The way our cafe functioned was, since it was at a convention, and it's a very popular convention, and so the cafe was also very popular. So we had to let people in shifts so that we can make sure we have the most people experience the cafe. We had like a huge line. Don't do that. Okay, continue. In order to serve as many customers as we could, we had everyone come in shifts. There was a line of like, I probably served hundreds of people that day. So it was like, I don't know why I keep doing this. Hundreds of people line, and we would let like, maybe this number is gonna be wrong, like 50 people in at one time, serve all of them, send them out, let the next 50 people in. Those 50 people weren't all sitting at the same table, they were scattered at different tables. So yeah, that's how it worked. So I feel kind of bad for the people in line because like they would have to wait, like I think each person got 45 minutes in the cafe, so they'd have to wait like at least 45 minutes, but people waited hours for it. I guess we were that good. Oh! There were multiple types of maids and butlers. There were table maids. The table maids were the maids who were assigned a specific table, and they stayed with that table and entertained that table. The whole function was not to have everyone talking to them, but to sort of encourage conversation between all the guests, because some of the guests didn't know each other. That's a difference between Japanese maid cafes. In Japan, I think it's more like a restaurant, like you come in with your friend, you sit down with your friend. Here you come in with your friend, but you're also going to be sitting at a table with unless you had 7 friends with you, you're probably going to be sitting at a table with a whole bunch of people you don't know. So the table maid's job was to encourage conversation between the guests, get them to get to know each other. There were entertainment maids at the end of every 45-minute session. I think like maybe 10 minutes before the end, 5 minutes before the end. The entertainment maids would come out and they've prepared multiple dances, and they would dance for the cafe. They would dance for the whole cafe, and they were really cute. It was great. Drink maids, there was only one, I think. The drink maid was the maid who made drinks, and then were the support maids / the support people, maid and butlers, were the ones that delivered drinks and food. Meanwhile, the butlers had multiple tables. While the table maids had one table, the butlers were assigned multiple tables, and they would assist the table maids at those tables. If it looked like they were struggling, they would come by and be like, hey, let me go get the food. Hey, let me help talk to the guests, because it's kind of scary to talk to like hundreds of strangers that you don't know. And lastly, there were host maids. Host maids were the ones that gathered it, were standing by the line and assigning people to the table, saying, hey, you sit there, taking all the guests in, that sort of thing. So those were the overall maids and butlers that we had. I was initially supposed to be a drink maid, helping make drinks and stuff. I was like, yeah, that's cool. But on the day of, some of the table maids didn't show up, and so the girl in charge was like, hey, you're gonna be a table maid. And that was so terrifying. We all came up with like a maid persona, a character that we were playing. We weren't playing ourselves. We weren't being ourselves. We were acting out a maid. So we had like a backstory, something that we could like tell stories about, so it'd be easier than just like telling the guests our life story. We're telling them a fictional character's life story, you know? But of course, since I wasn't a table maid, I hadn't really developed that, I guess, because I wasn't gonna have to be talking to guests. And then the day of, like a couple hours before the cafe opened, she was like, I have to talk to people today. What? I'm so antisocial, this is not gonna work. 7 hours of this. We weren't sitting down, we were standing up, and we only had like one 15-minute break. So 7 hours with 5 minutes intervals in between each block so that we could like set up the table again. 7 hours. And I wasn't just standing there, I was also running around the table because it was a big table, and I had to like, I couldn't hear everything because there was loud music, other people were talking, I had to like run around to talk to people, to deliver their food and drinks, and whew, I'm glad that we were able to play games with them like Jenga, Uno, other games like that. So that provided a sort of break of the socialization, but still, that was intense. And I wasn't even paid, it was a volunteer thing. Like I got to go to the con for free, but still. Okay, I enjoyed working for that cafe, but oh my god, my feet were dead. My social skills were dead. I just wanted to curl up in a cocoon and sleep. Hibernate for 10 months. Speaking of food, the food for the cafe was pre-made. We ordered it from like a bakery. And so we would deliver pre-made food, but it all looked so good. Meanwhile, since I was a volunteer at the con, I got free lunch. I'm a vegetarian, and so they had like sandwiches, and there weren't really vegetarian like protein options to put on the sandwich. So I had a mayonnaise and cheese sandwich for lunch. It was delicious. Don't get me wrong, I love mayonnaise and cheese, but I would have liked a little bit more substance. I know it sounds like I didn't enjoy it, but I actually did really like it. I liked working with my coworkers, and I think it was a really good experience for me. If I am still in this city next year, I will definitely do it again. It was kind of funny though, because I was the youngest maid. Everyone else was over 21, and I'm 17, and I was 17 at the time. So I only found that out recently too, because we had like a work party and there was alcohol and everyone was drinking it except for me, and they're drinking it legally too, except for me. If you're a really shy person but you've accepted that, this probably isn't the job experience for you. But if you want to work out coming out of your shell, you know, like exercise your social skills, if you're already a really social person, then yeah, go work in a Maid Cafe. Go for it. Shoot for the stars. Also, if you do go to a Maid Cafe in your lifetime, please respect those maids. They are doing so much work for you. And this just goes for any other service job. You have to work a service job in order to understand what the service workers are doing for you when you go out to eat or when you do anything that involves a service job. So in order to properly respect someone and all that they're doing for you, you really need a service job. It is an enlightening experience. That'll be it. Oh, I haven't even taken a drink of my tea because I've been waiting for it to finish steeping, and it's probably well steeped by now, so hold on. delicious. Thank you for watching this long. Thank you for supporting my channel. I'm trying to get to 1K subs and however many views you need to have an AdSense account. I mean, I personally don't care about that whole deal because I haven't even been using AdSense. I don't even have an AdSense account set up, but I still think it'd be pretty impressive. 1K subs has always been like a major goal for me. So that's my goal. So if you could subscribe and help me get closer, you don't even have to watch my videos if you don't like me. Just like click that red button and make my day. It really does. Yeah, thanks again. Subscribe, check out my other videos if you want to, and have a good day.